Welcome to my gear video series. This will be a series of videos in which we take a look at my gear and how I use it. Originally, I was going to do the typical YouTube studio tour, but as much as I love watching those, I often find myself having questions about how particular pieces of gear are actually used in their setup. So this series will not be a tour, nor will it be gear reviews in which I go over every single spec pertaining to the equipment, but I will be sharing how I feel about my gear and also how exactly I use it. My hope is that it will spark some ideas in you about how to use your gear or use your equipment. So let's get started. First step, my workhorse MIDI keyboard controller, the Arturia Keylab MKII. Now, this MIDI controller is considered by the industry a higher end controller. What I like most about it is its build quality. Everything from the wooden side panels which display Arturia's name to the solid buttons, encoders, sliders, and metal pitch bend and mod wheels screams quality. The metal chassis is great because I don't have to be shy about taking it to live gigs. Now, that's not to say that I'm rough with my things, but it is nice to have a little extra assurance that a few bumps and scrapes will not cause any major damage to my board. The semi-weighted keybed feels like a high-end keyboard workstation or synthesizer keybed. It does not feel quote-unquote cheap in any way. The quality of the keybed is another reason why using this keyboard in a live setup can be such a joy. Now, I have another MIDI controller, the LX88 made by Nectar. The quality difference between the Arturia Keylab and that keyboard is completely noticeable. The keybed is not as refined, the sliders are not as smooth, the chassis is completely made of plastic, but the LX88 with its 88 keys was cheaper than the Keylab MKII with only 49 keys. An added bonus to purchasing the Arturia is the software that it comes with. Out of the box, it comes with Analog Lab, which contains 6,786 presets. It has very accurate digital recreations of popular synths like the Roland Jupiter 8, Yamaha DX7, DSI Prophet 5, modeled Rhodes and Hammond B3 organ emulations. The keyboard comes pre-mapped already for seamless integration between the hardware and the software. It features a concert mode for live performance. This mode optimizes key parameters so that you can see what you need to on your computer screen at a glance. It also allows you to arrange your set list and sounds and songs ahead of time so that you're not fumbling around come showtime. Having seamless integration between the hardware and the software truly does save me valuable time. I can spend that time working on my set list, working on the songs, making sure that they are perfected and that they sound good, rather than spending that time mapping various knobs and sliders and buttons to control my software. I like the fact that the Keylab is bus powered, so I can plug it right into my Core Chronos to control the sounds in my workstation as well. When I switch the controller to user mode, it allows me to have 10 different fully customizable setups. In addition, with the included MIDI control center software, I am able to edit things like the color of the pads or set up any and every knob, slider, or fader to control whatever parameters I choose. In the studio, my DAW of choice is Ableton Live. Here, again, the Arturia comes pre-mapped for integration with Ableton. All I have to do is switch it over into DAW mode and my sliders become the faders for my channels. The pads allow me to launch clips, the encoders become my pan controls, etc. Also, if I open up the Analog Lab software inside of Ableton, I can switch back and forth between controlling Ableton with the hardware and controlling the sound parameters by simply hitting one button. On top of that, the Analog Lab software integrates seamlessly with native instrument software, which I also have. So when I'm browsing for sounds using complete control, I have access to all of my sounds by Arturia as well. This greatly helps when it comes to workflow. With the great build quality, seamless integration with the included 6,700 presets, software that can be optimized for live performance, and pre-mapped Ableton Live controls, I can honestly say that the Arturia Keylab MKII is the best MIDI controller I have ever owned. As primarily a keyboard player, it is nice to have a quality keybed that includes aftertouch, metal pitch bend and mod wheels, and a sturdy metal chassis that does not flex when I play it. If you are considering a keyboard controller and you want quality, I highly recommend you take a look at the Keylab MKII. It has become a valuable piece of equipment in my studio and live gigs alike.